So thanks for everybody who was able to join this training webinar about the portal. Last week, actually, I visited the yearly Any Laptops Now conference, and I got inspired on the feedback. And I want to share that with you guys, what I heard, and also go over some some good practices what you should do in the drug test portal to make this this tool even better and use all features what has been implemented. Feel free to ask questions during the training. I really appreciate your input. How more questions you ask, how better it is and how much you will learn. So it is also up to you how much you are able to learn. Let's start with Michael Donald. I contacted you, I think, end of last week, and she was willing to come live on a webinar to share her experience. And Michael, I'm going to unmute you now. Michael, do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so
hey, Jack.
Hi. So we had some text messages lately that you are willing to share about your experience about the portal, so that other franchisee owners can how do you say it, can get educated if they're not using it, what they are missing.
Yeah. I don't know if you want me to highlight on certain points or if there's, just kind of a general overall.
Balls is fine. Just do what you think it is good. So, but what has made I don't know why you started the lab test portal, and and once you are using the lab test portal, did it fulfill your expectation?
Well, the first problem, when you're doing rapid drug screening, being able to input and deliver a professional result to the customers is very important to me. Before we had the toxicology portal to store the results in, it was just either a Word document or a handwritten note that we could give to the customer, which I guess could easily be manipulated or changed, and it just didn't look very, very professional, for our business. The other thing that I like about the portal as far as our drug testing is we can easily deliver results via email, fax, or both at the same time, depending on what their needs are. We can store all of their information. Most of the customers that we deal with come in, repeatedly, either weekly or monthly, and being able to just have all of their information stored for them and on file so that each medical assistant can easily locate that is just invaluable to our service, and being able to get them in and out quickly, and less mistakes are made because we're not having to give the information to each medical assistant. So that's the first thing that made it we realized that we couldn't function effectively without it. But also when you're talking about your corporate accounts, I really don't know how I would service these accounts without the toxicology portal. When you have different staffing come in and each person, one person works one day, maybe we set up a new drug testing account. If there isn't a central location where you can store all of the details and the contact information about that account and know how to deliver their results, I really don't know how else I would service my drug testing accounts without a system like this in place. So it's definitely been, invaluable to us as far as relaying information, delivering results, and being able to manage those drug testing accounts.
Yeah, and are you enrolled in the lab test portal?
Yes, we started out with the toxicology side, and then when we started servicing a lot of students and having needing a vaccine record, it kind of led me to Jack, and he was working on a lab testing portal as well. So in addition to the toxicology side, every customer goes into the portal on our lab testing side also. All of our clinical results are stored into the portal. That's how we deliver all of our results. That's how we let each MA know how the client would like the results received. It's where we keep up with their vaccine record. If they're, when their next vaccine is due, their whole immunization record is stored here, and it allows us to print out a nice professional report that they can take back to their employer or to their school. It also tracks when their next dose is due, and we can send text messaging reminders, email reminders that it's time for their third dose of hepatitis B, or whichever is needed at that time. So again, it's just been an invaluable storage place for us to keep up with our results and deliver our results in a nice, efficient, timely manner.
Yeah, I think most of the users, they don't know, or they haven't realized that there is also a vaccination report module in it. Mm-hmm. So besides keeping track on who has ordered a lab test, how does that patient want to get reported? Does she want to get it reported to a physician? And there's also all kind of rapid tests in it. So there's a vaccination, what Michael uses a lot. So if you do any vaccination, you need this kind of form creating to create a nice looking form, but also keep track what has been done in the past, and that person, most time a student, need to have a nice looking report that they can show to whoever we need that vaccination proof. Also, there's a module, Rapids, where you can have all kind of rapid testing shown in a nice looking report. So it is, besides keeping track of lab test report, there are all kind of rapid test reports in it, which you can easily use to create those kind of reports.
Absolutely. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes we have one customer that we've sent out labs to, test to 3 different laboratories, and when they come in for results, having all of those results in one location where we can easily pull up that file, print those without having to log in to 3 different laboratories, search for their results. Just the time that it saves us of having all of that in one convenient location, again, is invaluable. So many times they say, oh, I lost that copy from 3 months ago. Do you still have that? And us being able to just input their name and quickly pull that result up, and shoot it to their email or fax it to their physician again is just such a time saver and such a good customer service tool.
Yeah. So if somebody comes in for a drug test or lab test, and when you do add drug test, and you enter a date of birth, let's say, let's grab a date of birth from Clara Braden, okay? So I go to drug test and I enter that date of birth from Clara Braden. Now the software is looking into if there are demographics with this date of birth. So I click on the button, and now indeed it found demographics. So you don't need to enter all the information what has already been in the portal. So Clara did apparently a lab test in the past, found this all kind of information, and now she wants also to have a drug test done. You select the instant device, let's say intent panel, and she is all kind of, let's say she's positive for, because she used medication, let's say for amphetamines, okay? Pre-assumptive positive. And the report created yes. And now I click on yes. So that is how fast, click is it to create a report. You can look at the online version, which is this, and you can print it out, or you can email it if she wants to have it emailed. So let's check email. Then it's going to ask for the email. It exists. So it needs to have an ID number. Press save. And now if I click on email, that online version get created in a PDF and get attached then to the email. So now instantly that PDF gets created, and it's the same with nice AnyLab. There's no logo, the donor name and date of birth, all kind of information is in it. And because it is pre-assumptive positive, you might want to send it out to a lab for confirmation. And then once that result is in, you upload that result, and then you check it off. You know, let's upload a test document. That is, you might want to change in your practice if you're using the portal. After uploading, you want to open the PDF and check if this is the right result for that donor. And if it is, you want to check off it is negative, positive, or invalid. You want to change that send timer to either negative, positive. So let's assume it is negative. Then you email that results to that PDF get attached to the donor. And if that is an account, it would have now it is sent to Clara, but if it is an account, it would send to that account. And once you're all done, and that is one of the common mistakes I see, once you're all done with reporting, you want to check this box. Okay, this box is like, I am done with that donor. Everything turns black, there's no action left. Okay, so if you see some blue colors like here, that means there's an open action. That box has not been checked. Okay, and once that box is checked, everything is done. So that is what you want to do to keep a clean looking portal. And your goal is to have all those boxes checked. Okay. So Michael, if you would let me, there are two other questions. Let me answer them first, and then I'll come back to you, Michael. How can I get the portal on my computer? It is just a link. It is web-based. So if you log out, and that is the login link, that is what you will see on your computer. I will put it in the chat box, and then you get once you get access, you get an email and a password. I hope I still remember for this one. And then you can log in. There's no software to install to get access to the portal. You might want to have a PDF creator to create some PDFs, but that is all what you need. The portal is not local on your computer, and that if you have multiple computers in your lab, or you want to log in at home or whatever, you have multiple locations, you can do that. Does that answer your question? Does the portal work with Quest? What you want to do is, you want to go to Quest, you want to download the PDF to your local computer and upload to the portal. It does not have a direct interaction with Quest Lab. But once your MA has done it once, it is pretty easy. There are so many labs, any lab that now works with, it will never be that it all are integrated with all the labs. So there's always something like that. Okay. I want to cover that. So one of the things the portal also covers is it has a blank form which you can use to fill out during the drug testing collection. But if you have let's say Clara comes back for a second test, she's probably not at the top anymore. So what you do is you search on the date of birth. Then you click on the plus sign. You create a new record. Let's say this new record. And then what you want to do is you want to create a print and drug test form with information from Clara. So you click on this form, and now you see a lot of information. Everything what is available for her is on the form already filled out. So she doesn't have to do twice. So you only need to fill out the results and sign by yourself and the donor. So that makes that person willing to come back to your lab, because all of the information is in the portal, and whenever they want to have a copy, it's always available. So you don't need to log in portal or on your computer search for those Word documents if you already have them. So if I search now on this date of birth, there are now 2 records in it, or I had put on the letter P. Okay, so that is for personal, but there's also real power in having the donor connected with account, because that is where the money comes in. When you have an account with once you have to do the donor testing, you want to manage all of the information in account for the employees. So I have another question. I have a question. I have a different company, one different rapid drug test for employee. I put that information under their account, but when I do drug test for someone pull-up company name, that information does not come up. So what you want to do is, if you go to accounts and you added that account, let's say this PC repair, and you have some preferred test devices. Let's see, preferred test device 1, and you can also enter the preferred test device 2. Okay, so it has one device what it does normally, but can also show the second device. Okay, so let's save this, go back to drug testing, add drug test, enter date of birth, check if it exists. It doesn't exist, so let's do first name, last name, ID number for how the ID was checked, and now there was account, and let's check PC repair. All of the information get filled out, and if you select device, you can select any device you want to test for that account. Does that answer your question? So you can still select any device. I wish I could show your portal, Michael, but because of privacy, I cannot. I know you are using it intensively. So also the vaccination. Tell me about, about the physicians. Do you really manage it? Use lab tests and physicians?
We do. We work with one physician I can think of has a weight loss program, and he sends quite a few patients over. So again, it's really nice to designate that the patients that he sends over, designate them with that particular physician, and it also, when we do that, allows us to know exactly where to send those results to for that patient whenever we select the physician box. And it also kind of helps me be able to look in and see how many patients he has sent over recently, and if we have a physician that has not sent someone over in a while, I can follow up with them, and maybe they've had a changeover of staff, and I can go back and visit with them and say, we haven't heard from you lately, is there something I can help you with? So it's a way to kind of track which physicians are sending patients your way also, and know how many they're sending over.
So if in the drug test you have the relation between donor and account, like say employee and a business. In the lab test you have the relationship between patient and physician. So in physicians we enter all the information as much as we need, at least the fax number, and you have all those stats, the current month, the amount of tests for current month, the past month, and total. So if you would sort on those, let's say in total, you have a good overview from the physicians who are sending you the most patients, and you want to make sure that that physician get treated well and have requisition sheets and thank you notes. So that
Exactly.
this
And
gives
keep
you.
in mind that physician can also be a school. So, like Pensacola State University is one of my physicians, and that's where we keep up with all of their vaccination records and can follow, um, how many students are being sent over from that school, and track, when their next round of vaccines are due.
Okay, let me unmute somebody else. Are you hear me? Do you hear me? Deza. Let's see what her name is again. I'm bad with names. Your email
Hey,
is Deza
hey,
Valine?
the what is it? The anti-nuclear antibodies, is that the ANA without reflex? Okay, okay. I just want to make sure.
I think he's on the. I think he's working with a patient. I will give him a message if he's ready. This is live. Okay, so are you using randoms, Michael? I don't know. For
Am I
drug
using
test?
what? I'm sorry.
Randoms for drug testing?
That is not something that I've really had to use yet.
No.
I've not had the time, I haven't had the need for that one yet.
So randoms actually brings you the real money in it if you have a drug test account who wants to have their employees actively random tested. So there's a pool of employees related to that account, and you can set up a random pool with a certain percentage of um, that account needs to get tested according a certain percentage. So some franchisees heavily using that. So you need to, if you have an account, with more than 100 employees, and they do the pre-screen when they hire the job, when they get hired, or they just want to have every 3 months a couple of donors tests. So that is all included. That's related to drug testing. And let's see, it has some color coding, you know, when something is positive. So that it shows a P. So and if it is, you know, if it is negative, it will show, let's say, let's change it to negative, and I change it again, then you see the red, the green N. And you also can, if that person, the donor, also wants to have a background check, it's all in one place. So you can select background, and you see an upload button where you can upload the background test. So sometimes they want to, besides the drug test, also doing the background check. So everything is within one place. And the send timer here, it is send time here. That means it is in progress. And because here there's a no, that means test is still test performed no. But if you change that test performed in yes, now you see the results. Now because you can say, okay, now this result, now my information from the test has been entered, and it shows the web-based version. And you can also email it. Now once you start email, it creates the PDF, the latest version, and if you press email, it gets emailed, but you can also view the PDF. And if you click on the web-based version, then window opens to print it, but you also have here an icon to print it from here. Okay, let's try if he's available. Hello, do you hear me? Deza, do you hear me? I think he's still working. Cheryl is coming online, so that's where we are waiting for. If you have another question, I'm happy to answer. I can go over the fields from the account. I think that's very useful for a business owner. So you enter the business name, the street and the city, the demographics, the phone number. You can also store the cell phone number, the fax number, and now you see 6 email fields. So this is kind of new, that in the beginning I only had 1 email address, and then more locations came on board and say, yeah, but you know, that person from that company also wants to receive the results. And then a third one said, yeah, but you know, my boss only wants to get emails which are about that they are not positive, so negative or positive. So you can select here also, send me only emails if the result is negative. Okay, so then becomes more interesting, the frequency of billing. So you have an agreement with that account if he pays monthly per test or the donor pays, or you can have another entry if it doesn't, something else. You can pay, you know, the donor pays credit card or invoice, and then you can send the invoice via US mail, email, or fax. So there's all kind of information you store with the account to make sure you handle that account as you have agreed to. Then you can select which device you want to have tests for that account, and there are 3 preferred testers. You can always go back to that account, checking which device you need to use. Also, you can have an agreement with that account which lab you want to send it to, Alero, Expertalk, or Quest. And I will show you in a sec how you can enter another lab. Then you can have another lab for randoms and also for the instant drug test device. Here you can enter the price agreed for each test, and you can enter that as text, and then how to receive the results. And that actually is very powerful for drug testing. You can do fax, email, or they can look it online. So if a company does it on a regular basis, they don't want all that paperwork. They just want to have that information easy accessible and with a username and password, and they can log it as their need is. So they get once they check online, let me uncheck it. Once they check online, they get the username is the email address, and they get a random generated password, and you can send that information to that account by checking this box. Then there's another advanced feature, that is account can edit employees list. So if they do random, there's an option that once they log in online, they can manage which employees needs to get drug tested on their end. So once you start the pool, or once you run the pool, that employee list is up to date. Then how to add new employees to the list. So if you do randoms, you can either choose enter the employees to the list manually, or when they have new hires, you can have that employee automatically added to the random list. If you have a salesperson, you can enter it here so you know which person is accountable or get the benefits to have this account. You can select background, yes or no. If for that account is a default to do a background check, it will show that upload button, so you know that a background check is needed for that account. Then there are 2 different boxes, overview donor nodes and account nodes. So if you want to have nodes showing on the overview from the portal, you can enter it here. And let's say account nodes is, for example, let's say payment with credit card. Okay, if I press now save, and if I press now save, then it which one did I do now? I forgot which one I edited. What was that? I think I forgot. So let's do the top one. Oh, payment via credit. So that is banana sticks. Okay. So if I do an add drug test, date of birth, then first, last, ID number, account, and now I select that first account which we edited. The price is $49. I select the device, and let's say 10 panel. Test performed, yes. So you see special instruction that was in that box where you could enter the notes for that account, but you don't want to show in the overview all more or less private information. But if you click on that account name, you can jump to it, and then you can read what is very confidential, and you only want to have access to it if you click a link. So that is how easy you manage everything. It is now this donor has this account, and if I want to see all the donors tested for that account, I click on the letter T, and see now I get all donors tested for that account. And if I go back to account, I can see here in the overview I did one test this month for this account. I did 0 the past month, and I did 6 in total. So that is how you can also have a good understanding what are your important accounts, and you want to treat them well. So let's see. Then if the link is blue from the list accounts, that means there are employees listed. So this is how you can manage the employees for random drug testing, and you can easily add employees. First 5, last 5, then the date of birth, ID number, and the location. Let's say city. Okay. Now if I go back to the view list, that is now added. So if you would run a random pool, this donor is part of that pool. And now I'll go a little bit fast. So there's one feature I think that's new, and nobody has been using it because I didn't announce it. But if you would do if an donor is asking, if an account is asking, send me all the results at once, and you did a test last week, I don't want to have 10 emails. I don't want to see it online. I just want to have one email. So then you can go to the account and click on this button, and then it asks which reports you want to send. All reports, instant but lab, only instant, only lab, and you might want to also send background reports. So, and then you can select a date range. So if I said all reports, if you remember, those are all reports from that account. You can select them all, and now those PDFs get sent to that account in once. So that account don't get 10 emails, get only 1 emails with 10 PDFs as attachment. So that is made because somebody some franchise owner did a lot of tests on site, and he wants to email them. He didn't want to have an online lookup, but he also didn't want to send 10 emails. So that is a new feature. Let's see. That is if you have multiple locations. Okay, if you have location 1, 2, and 3. You will see here on the lab location 1, location 2, and location 3. But you do not want to set up 3 different, enter 3 times same the account. So what you can do is you click on this, and you get an authorization code. Okay? You copy that code, and you go to that other portal, and instead of add account, you click on import account, and now it's asking for that authorization code. And in this example it will not work because it is the same portal, but if you were in a new portal and you would copy and paste that code in it, it will work, and it will show the same account but also linked to for that same account. So if you have multiple locations, having the same account is pretty easy to set up. I think you didn't see that, Michael, huh? Because I didn't announce it. So that is new what you probably haven't used yet. Okay, and that's what I promised to do, is I'm going to additional fields, and there's all kind of information you can set up for your location. So if the name is MA, and let's say it is training, and visible means that you are able to select that MA as in a selection box, okay? But let's say Laura Bradbury is now hidden. Let's say she comes back to AnyLab now and she has an MA, and I change her back from hidden to visible, okay? Now I go back to drug testing, add drug test, select and date, and I have to enter quickly some information. Let's say it is private, and now there is a collector, and now Laura Bradbury is able to get selected. But you know, Laura worked for 3 months and she didn't feel appreciated, so she left the company. And now you don't want to delete Laura, because she did in those 3 months, she did just a lot of drug testing. So instead of, you click on visible and now you toggle it to hidden. So if you go back to Laura Bradbury here now, it shows no hidden. And if I do a drug test again, first, last, with ID number, and select private, then where is the collector? Now you don't see Laura anymore as option. Okay, so that is how you can manage your active medical assistants, you have active collectors. You can also enter a new MA. So let's say give me a name, Mary. Mary start working for AnyLab now. I want to show you number 4, and that's all what you need to do. Mary is now selectable, or number 4 in a drop down box, and it's visible. Then you have all those other fields where you can select options for the frequency of billing, pay, via, all kind of things. But a clinical lab, you know, is maybe the most interest to you guys. Let's say you want to do B12 shot. B12 shot. It's 0 days, and you want to show number 3 as selection box. So now B12 has been added as a lab. Drug testing, same. I mean, a quest is now entered, but let's say, you know, mention a new lab for drug testing. I think we got just one, I forgot the name, but let's say drug test lab 2, and they report within 3 days, and I want to show them on the top. That is my new number 1. Okay, I selected that. Go to drug testing, add drug test, enter the donor date of birth. First, let's say do this 3. Last, private, and then you see your lab. You see now drug test lab is able to get selected. Okay, so that is how you can add a new drug test lab. Okay, so then the preferred labs. Lab location is your tip. It doesn't change too often, but you can enter here your address, state, and phone. So that is your email, your website. If it's changed, you can update it here. Then you can the openings hours, that might change once in a while, so you can update it here. Time zone, I don't think that changes that often. So, and then you press, save when you make that change. Now, something what you want to personalize your email. So you click on email fields, and then you have that on the top. You have all kind of email templates. Okay. So if we want to personalize the emails that you send to, you can send, please find attached your drug test result. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. Thank you and have a nice day. And then, let's say you want to change the footer of that email. Thanks, kind regards. Let's say we do my pleasure. And then you might want to end up with a nice say on tell us if you have tell us if we did not fulfill your expectation. Tell us if we did not fulfill your expectations. Tell others how good we are. Okay, so just an example that you can change that template. Now if you go to drug test and send an email and you look up, now you see this in the email template. Okay, so that helps you to be on the call. Okay, 1 second. Ik ben in de webinar, wat is er? Ja, je moet gewoon 10 minuten, 15 minuten wachten. Oké, goed. Ja. Okay, so Deza, are you back? Can you speak with me? Hi Deza, do you hear me? Are you able to hear me, Deza, and speak with me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so you are live in the webinar, and I would appreciate, if you tell a little bit about your experience with the portal.
Honestly, I've never seen the portal, so I'm kind of interested in it. We don't use the portal here, so
Okay.
I want to learn more about it.
Okay.
And it sounds like it's very good to use.
Are you doing instant drug testing?
Say it again?
Are you providing instant drug testing for your customers?
Yes, we do. We do 5-panel or 10-panel rapid drug testing, and we also send out to Quest labs that we use.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we do instant reports, and from what I was seeing, the instant reports look very professional and all of that. And I would like something like that here at the lab. that I use, or actually all our 3 locations that we use.
Okay. Which locations do you have, if I may ask?
We have the one off of De Zavala in San Antonio.
Okay.
We have one off of 281 and 1604 in San Antonio, and then we have one in Bernie, Texas.
Okay. I'm not sure if I have your direct number, but if you would, just enter it in the chat box and I will follow up with you later.
Okay.
So you might want to share how you do the drug testing at the moment. Are you using a Word document or using Quest or?
Actually, we have forms that are printed out that we use. We do our rapid drug test and we just mark off negative or positive.
Okay, so you use just a handwritten form.
Yeah. Well, it's like a well, yeah. It's all printed out, has all the drug names and all of that that's be tested, and that's how we do it.
Yeah, and do you keep a copy of it?
Yes, we keep a copy. We keep all our files and everything put up. But from what I was seeing from the young lady explaining and from this portal, it looks very professional. Everything is saved in the computer and all of that, and I would like to try to incorporate this with all our locations that we have here, all our 3 locations, so it'll be easier.
Yeah, this.
So, because there's multiple of us, and if somebody needs to get a drug test or a result, one of the inmates could retrieve it instead of looking in our paperwork and all of that.
Yeah, yeah. So you will regret the day that once you're using it that you didn't use it earlier, because all the history from every account and donor is saved. And once a donor or account is asking for results from the past, it's so much easier than go through the binders.
Yes.
And also the reports are branded, so they are looking just professional.
Yes, and that's what I like about it. That's what I like.
That is an online web version, and they will see the PDF version. So the PDF version has even a more cleaner interface, I think, with everything, and everything is flexible.
Yes. And question: would that be good for like? Would it be good for like court documentation? Would that be usable for court and stuff like that?
No, for court,
no? Okay.
You need an for probation we use the instant. We never had a comment for that, but for court, for real court, you need a confirmation. You want also send it out to
the lab.
To the lab, like Quest or LabCorp.
Okay.
We typically do use Quest because the judge are more familiar with Quest than a layer. I think both are certified, but I have been witnessed a couple of times in a court, and every time when I show something from Quest, I didn't need to use a lot of words to prove that the results. So and Quest is pretty well known within the states by the judges. So.
Okay. So this would be good just like for probation, basically.
For probation and for probation, but also for instant drug testing. People have so many different reasons why they want instant drug testing. It can be a kit, which the parents want to check out to have a peace of mind. It can somebody who is applying for a job and want to make sure he's not in trouble before he does the official drug test.
Yes.
It can be, in a divorce case that can be divorce case that they want to make sure that the partner is not using drugs while seeing the kids. So there's all kind of reasons why people like to have a drug test done. And if you have accounts for companies,
Mm-hmm.
those are actually the best, that they send the new hires to you
Okay.
to get drug testing, and that is actually where you want to go after, because that is just set up once and you get repeated business.
Okay, that's awesome. See if I mean, yeah.
So if you
I
set
want,
up those accounts, you entered you entered all that information in the portal, and in your case you have multiple locations. You want to use this feature. You
okay.
enter that account once and you copy that account information in all your 3 portals, and they are linked. So if you update one side, you also update the other account. And
Okay.
that account, if it is a big account, you can give them online access so they can log in and see all the results from the donors from all the 3 locations.
Oh wow. Yeah. That, that sounds interesting because we do have accounts with different companies here in town.
Yeah, and so that is the case in my situation. We opened in 2009,
Uh-huh.
and in the beginning you can do like your system, you do a Word document or whatever, but
Uh-huh.
once you get more than 10 patients a day, you start remembering things, and you make errors. And my wife Henrika got overloaded, and I stepped in the lab and I said, I cannot even remember 5 patients a day. So with my background, I with my database and programming background, I created this portal, and so every information is entered, and it's just it's just systemized, and you cannot make errors.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of things for an MA to do, like how does it need to report, which test needs to be done, who likes to have a copy, how often, whatever they have is, if you go in that account, there are so many fields, but every field is important, but you cannot expect that MA is doing everything right, if that's
Mm-hmm.
not documented. So we came up with a system, and then at that time, I don't know how long you are on board with any laptops now. Do you still know Laura Bradbury?
Do I still what?
Do you still know Laura Bradbury, which was at that time responsible for drug testing from corporate? Laura Bradbury.
I'm not exactly
She left
sure.
about a year ago, 1.5 years, the company.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
She actually more or less discovered that I had this portal and said, why you not make it available for all locations? And that
Yeah.
is what I did. So and also created a lab testing site
Mm-hmm.
because um, there are 2 things what I don't like is wasting time and
Yes.
messing up information. So if you mess up reporting results to a customer or to an account, they can become really mad,
Mm-hmm.
and all the work what you put in that account can get lost in a day. If they don't get results in time or not on the way they expect it to, they have options. They can
Yeah.
go to somebody else.
Yeah.
And also for physicians, if you don't report results to that physicians as they prefer, you can lose that. And also, and accounts, somebody get hired and you did a drug test, but you forgot to report, and you only
Mm-hmm.
have to do that twice, and then you say, your guys, I cannot trust you guys.
Yeah.
And if you have 3 locations, you have probably 5 MAs, you need to have a system.
Yes.
So that is why that portal got created, and in a way that it I think 75 locations are using it now, and you can check each of them, and they all love it, and I appreciate that. And actually that was the reason why I do this presentation now, because I got inspired from those comments.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks like something we would like to use because it's more organized instead of us doing multiple things.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds very good. So thanks for coming live on the call, and I will
Thank you.
contact you later today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I want to thank everybody for your time. Hopefully you got out of it where you were looking for. And if you have any questions, feel free to call me. My cell phone number is 561-213-4002. Repeat, 561-213-4002. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody.